So this question says, you want to buy a car for $10,500. However, you do not have enough money to pay up front, so you choose to purchase the vehicle with a $3,000 down payment and $250 per month for 40 months. What is the percent increase from paying full price to paying monthly? So what normally happens is you have two options to pay for something. You can either pay for something full price upfront, one cash payment, which is very rare, and pay a lower amount. If you do pay something monthly, two things are going to happen. Number one, you're going to pay over time. In this case, 40 months. And number two, you're going to pay more money. You're not going to pay $10,500. You're going to pay something more than that because you are getting the luxury of paying it over time, which is a lot more affordable. Okay? So now that we read the entire thing, we have a general idea of what's happening in the question. Let's go to each sentence and pull out any information that's really critical. So you want to buy a car that's $10,500. So let's make a note of that. Okay, so 10,000. That's right, $10,500. That is the full price of car. Price of car. Okay. In the second sentence, it says you don't have enough money to pay up front. And honestly, that's not that bad a thing. It's very common. It's very rare for people to pay up front. It's a lot more common for people to pay monthly over time. That's why you see all these things like car lease commercials. That's when you're paying monthly. You're paying a little bit of money over a long period of time. Okay, so you're paying $3,000 down. So a $3,000 down payment. A $3,000 down payment. That's a lump sum of money you're paying upfront, but it's not the entire amount. It's just a piece of the amount that's going to allow you to pay less per month. So the $3,000, that is the down payment. And then we also pay $250 per month for 40 months. Okay, so $250, that is the monthly payment. And 40 is the number of months payment made. Number of months payments are made. Okay, so, and the question being asked is, what is the percent increase from paying full price to paying monthly? And the important word here is that word increase. So we're looking for the percent increase from paying full price, which is $10,500, to the total amount that we end up paying for the monthly payment plan. So let's organize our page so that we can do this a lot more neatly. So let's draw a line down here. Okay, I'll also draw a line down here. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do all my work for the monthly plan in this column. There really isn't much work to do for the full price plan because it's really just a lump sum payment. All right, so let's find out how much we'll pay in total monthly. All right, so monthly plan. So for the monthly plan, we do know that we're paying $3,000 down, but we're also paying $250 per month for 40 months. So let's find out how much we would end up paying after the 40 months. So we're going to work with, change colors real quick. We're going to work with these values right here first. These values right here. Okay. So we're going to work with these values to find out how much money is actually going to be paid after the 40 months. So let's do that. We've got $250. We've got $250 times 40, because that is how many months you're paying the $250 for. Okay, so $250, again, in case you missed it, that is the monthly cost or the monthly payment. This is the number of months of payments. Okay, let me also move this over a little bit. Okay, so now that we have that, let's go back to this text box. All right, so now that we have that, when we multiply 250 times 4,000, we get, I'm sorry, I mean 250 times 40, we end up getting 10,000. Okay, so we get $10,000. And that is the total after all payments made. Okay. But we also know that we have this $3,000 down payment. So we have to combine the $10,000 that we would pay at the end of 40 months with the money that we actually put down in the first place. Remember, this is just a lump sum payment before we even started our first monthly payment. So we're going to have 10,000 plus 3,000, which is the down payment, and that is going to be $13,000. That's pretty basic math. So it's going to be 10,000 plus $10,000 plus $3,000 will give us $13,000. Okay, and that is the total amount paid for monthly plan or for monthly payments. Monthly payments. So now we need to determine not the percent increase, but the actual increase. In other words, the monthly plan, after all the payments were made for the monthly plan, you would have paid $13,000. But if you paid the car full price, you would have paid $10,500. So in other words, what's the increase, or rather, how do we find the increase from $10,500, the full price, to the total amount of money paid after all the monthly payments in the plan are made? Well, that would be subtraction. So we're going to subtract $13,000 minus $10,500 to find the actual increase, and that will allow us to set up our percent proportion. So let's do that. Let's change colors. Okay, and get the text box. Okay, so now we've got $13,000, which is again, the total amount paid for monthly plan. And we're going to subtract from that $10,500. And that is the full price of car. If you paid full price, you would have paid $10,500 up front. No monthly plan, no monthly payment, no paying for 40 months, none of that stuff. So that means that we would have an increase of $2,500, and that is the actual payment increase. How much more you paid having chosen the monthly plan. So you pay $2,500 extra over 40 months, which actually isn't that bad. You got the ability to drive the vehicle without having to spend $10,500 up front. So now let's set up the percent proportion to try to find the percent increase. Because remember, now we know the actual payment increase. What we're looking for is the payment increase. So let's make everything a little bit smaller. And then we can drag this up. We have more space over here in this corner. And we'll set up our percent proportion. So we'll need a line. We'll have a line on the left. We'll set it equal to a line on the right. And let me actually zoom in a little bit on just this part. And I believe we have all the information we need here, so it should be okay. So let's drag this. That is not pretty. All right. And we should have all the information we need right here. Okay. So a little bit smaller. There we go. Okay. All right, so now let's put this as the percent side. So we'll put percent here. We will put actual here. We will put the bottom. Whenever we have two totals, like in this case, we had the total if we chose the monthly payment plan, which was $10,500, and the total after you made all your monthly payments, plan payments, which is $13,000. Whenever we have two totals, we would start with the original. So the bottom is going to read as the original amount. Okay, or you could put starting point. Either one's fine. So that's original. And then in the top, what we're looking for, remember, is the percent increase. So the top is going to be the increase. This side, the top here, is our percent increase. This side here is our actual increase. Percents are always out of 100, so we'll put 100 here. After we put the 100 here, we know that our actual original amount that we would have paid is 10,500, so we'll put that here, 10,500. The actual increase we do know, we got that from subtracting the full price from the total paid after all the monthly payments are made, which was $2,500, so we'll put that here, 2,500. And this we don't know. I'm gonna call it I wouldn't normally call it I, but that looks like kind of like a 1, so I'm gonna avoid that, and I'm just gonna call it P for percent. All right, now that we have our percent proportion set up, all we have to do is use the butterfly method, which means we're gonna cross multiply and divide. So let's do that. So change colors really quickly again. Okay. So let's multiply 100. I like to multiply by the variable first. So let's multiply 10,500 times P. And then we'll also multiply 2,500 times 100. Okay. Now, when we multiply 10,500 times P, we are going to get 10,500 P. So let's put that here. 10,500 P equals, put a little bit of space, equals the result of 2,500 times 100, which gives us 250,000. Okay, so you should have gotten, remember again, just to recap briefly, you multiplied 10,500 times P, that gave you 10,500 P. You multiplied 2,500 times 100, that gave you 250,000. Now you've gotten to this point, you have to get the variable P by itself. Remember, the whole goal is to get this variable here, P, by itself. So we've got to get rid of this 10,500, and the only way to do that is to divide both sides, not just one side, but both sides by the coefficient. In this case, that's 10,500. The coefficient is just a number in front of the variable. So let's divide both sides by, let's move it over a little bit, 10,500 here, and then we'll also divide this side here by 10,500, so that we end up getting the following. We'll end up canceling these 10,500 because 10,500 divided by 10,500 will cancel out, giving you the 1P by itself, which is exactly what you want. I'll bring down the variable P, and P equals the result of 250,000 divided by 10,500, and that is going to give us 23.809, and it goes on, right? But that doesn't really matter. Normally these kinds of questions, they would tell you where to round to. This question didn't. But if we did round this, you could say the answer is about 23.8%, but if we round it, let's make it P equals 24%. And that, again, is representing, remember what our proportion that we set up looks like. We are looking for the variable P. P represents the percent increase. And that is the question that we were answering from the very beginning. What is the percent increase from paying full price to paying monthly? That is 24%. So let's fill that in. So this is the percent increase from full price to paying monthly. Okay, so our final answer is 24%. That is the percent increase, and we're actually answering the question being asked. So again, the question being asked is, and we can zoom out so we see everything, and that's also going to help us for the recap. Okay, so let's drag this down here. I hate when this does this. Okay, so again, the percent increase from full price to paying monthly was 24%. Now let's recap. They gave us all this information. in the problem, and we basically took the most important information from the problem and wrote it down here so we didn't have to read this 19 different times. That's a pain. We know the full price of the car is $10,500. We know we paid $3,000 down. We know we paid $250 per month. We know we did that for 40 months. And the question being asked is, what was the percent increase from paying full price to paying monthly? So we first found the total amount of money paid with the monthly plan. We multiplied 250 times 40, they gave us $10,000, plus the $3,000 down payment, which is an initial lump sum payment at the very beginning of the monthly payments. We added that and got $13,000. We subtracted $13,000 minus $10,500 to find the increase of money that we would have paid from the full price payment plan to the monthly payment plan. That was $2,500. Since that's the actual increase, when we set up our percent proportion, that would be the top of the actual side. The original value we would have paid, the $10,500, was the bottom of the actual side of the proportion. Percents are still always out of 100, so the bottom is 100 here. The variable is p. Now that that's set up, you do the butterfly method, which means you cross multiply and divide, which gives you the variable p by itself, which initially was 23.809, and that is going to end up just rounding to 24%. And again, that 24% is the percent increase from full price to paying monthly. Now, if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments section. We'll do our best to answer any questions that we can. Have a great day.